This is the habit tracker that I've been using for the past month. I kept it super simple, just a grid with the habits that I wanted to focus on across the top and the days of the month running down the side. Every time I did a habit, I would check it off, and honestly, I didn't think it would make that big of a difference at first. But seeing those boxes fill up day after day is surprisingly motivating. It's like proof on paper that I can actually show up for myself, and even on the days when I don't feel like it. Over the month, I started to notice patterns too, like where I was consistent and where I kept slipping. So I wanted to show you how I tracked, how it went, and what I actually learned from sticking with this for 30 days. So before I get into actually showing you guys how I built this habit tracker, I want to talk about a few different things. If you guys are anything like me and you're into your personal health, you probably know the importance of not only daily tracking your habits, but also journaling. And those are two things that I really wanted to get into for a long time now. I just never took the actual steps to do it. And I can say that the past 30 days that I have been doing this, I've noticed a big change, whether it's just trying to keep up with my daily habits, getting my thoughts on a piece of paper when it comes to journaling. And not only that, it's just nice using a pen and a paper again. I don't want to call pen and paper old school, but as someone like me who works in data analytics, I really don't use pen and papers anymore. I take all my notes on a computer. I'm on a keyboard 24/7, so it felt right just using a pen and paper again. I don't know if that makes sense. The other thing too is, once again, since I do work in data analytics, if you guys are data oriented, it's nice seeing your data from your day-to-day life on a high level overview, because then I can see what's consistent, what's inconsistent, what I need to work on, and I can roll that into next month. So before I show you guys how to build this, I do want to say it's not my own original idea. I took inspiration from the two videos I saw and kind of merged them into one. So the two videos that I saw were these two videos right here. If you guys want to check those out, definitely feel free to. But let's get into actually building this, and I'll show you guys exactly what I did. So before I show you guys exactly how to build this, I want to show you how it is structured. So pretty much this is a 2-page habit tracker. On the left page here, you're going to see we're going to have our month, and then we're going to have memorable moments for every single day that happened in the month. Now, that is pretty standard from what you'll see online. Something I added that's personal to me is I put the wins from last month. So I put my August wins here. And then the second page of the journal is going to be kind of the meat and potatoes of the actual habit tracking. Now, what's cool about this is you can modulate this completely for your own needs. If you're tracking your weight, you can add that. If you're tracking your sleep score, you can add that. If you're tracking other personal things, you can literally add whatever habits you would like to add. My habits are set up as the following. I got exercising, drinking 8 cups of water, journaling, eating a healthy meal, not going on my phone in the morning, no spending in a single day, investing my money, goal planning, and flossing. And then I track my sleep right here. Now, once again, some people add a metric here, like their weight or their sleep score. What I ended up doing was I just put a high-level goal for the month that I wanted to focus on. So I put my September overall goal, and I put train mind to be grateful for the good and bad every single day. And that's my main goal that I was focusing on for the month of September. So with that being said here, that is the overall habit tracker. Now, on the next page, I also have the journaling portion of this. So I don't have my actual journal here because I don't want to expose myself like that, but this is pretty much how it's set up. I put my September goals, so I had reached 7K subs, spend days with family, and post 10 videos on YouTube, and some quick metric tracking here, because when you can track it like this, it makes it a lot more fun to keep up with and a lot easier to visualize your progress. And then pretty much how my journal entries are set up is I have the date, the time of the journal entry, whatever's on your mind, whatever you're thinking, whatever happened that day. And then I like to add something that I'm grateful for on the next little bar. And then I'll just repeat that journal entry for every single day. But what's really nice about a habit tracker like this is after a month of using something like this, you have really solid data of your day-to-day life. I can see things that I'm super consistent with, like investing or goal planning or drinking 8 cups of water. And then I can see things that I'm extremely inconsistent with, like my sleep is actually all over the place. I need to floss more. Exercise is terrible. Healthy meals are absolutely terrible. So now I know what to work on and carry it over into the next month. So let me show you guys exactly how to build this so you guys can start tracking your habits today. One, you need an A5 journal, preferably gridded paper. It makes it a lot easier to rule out your lines and make sure it's nice and crisp and clean. The next thing is you're going to need some type of ruler. And the last thing is you're going to need a pen. Those are the three things that you need to start building this habit tracker. So if you have these three things, honestly, you don't even need a ruler, but it's nice to do it that way. So let's start building this habit tracker. I'm going to build mine out for October so you guys can see exactly how I do it. And obviously you can just, pause this whenever you need to or refer to the last part of the video if you'd like to do that as well. But basically, first things first is we're going to come up to the top here and we're going to write the month that we're in. So we're going to write October 2025 like that. And then I like to hit pretty much every header with some type of line. And if it bugs you guys how I draw my lines and how I rule things out, I apologize. Once again, I'm not an artist by any means. I struggle with writing my own name on a piece of paper. So the next thing I'll put is over here. Well, I guess we'll go for the days. So there's 31 days in October. So we're going to go pretty much down the row here, 1 to 31. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. All right, all the way down to 31. So we got our 31 days marked out. And then over here somewhere, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write my September wins. So September wins. And then we're going to rule that out too, like so. There we go. So that's already one part of the habit tracker done. So now basically what we can do here is every single day for the month of October, we're going to write a memorable moment. And then we're going to write our September wins here. And you could write, memorable moments up here. I forgot to do that. It doesn't matter. I know exactly what this is for. It's to write down my memorable moments. So next is onto the actual habit tracker part of this. So what we need to do is we need to line up day one. And basically from that day one, I'm going to make a line that comes all the way down to the bottom of the page, like so. There we go. So you can see here pretty much, because what I'm going to do is for habit one, I want it to be in this box right here. So I'm going to draw a line up here like so. There we go. So now when I fill in a habit, it corresponds directly with day one. Hopefully that makes sense. So there we go. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to write the actual habits that we want to track. So I like the habits that I had for September. I think I'm going to stick with those habits. So we got exercise, 8 cups of water, journal, healthy meal, no phone in the morning, no spend day, invest, goal plan, and floss. I think I'm going to stick with those same couple of habits because I do really like those, and I think those apply pretty well to the things that I like to do in life. All right, so I got my habits written down here. Now, I really didn't leave myself a lot of room, but hey, it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? So I got exercise, 8 cups of water, journal, healthy meal, no phone in the morning, no spend day, invest, goal plan, and floss. Now, ideally, you want to plan these habits out beforehand. That way, this line right here, you can make this the length of your habits just so everything looks nice and clean. So now that my habits are written down here, we're going to build out the actual sleep tracker. So pretty simple here. We're just going to skip one of the grids. This is why having gridded paper is really nice. Keep everything even. And what we're going to do is we're going to come here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do something like that. Give ourselves 7 hours of variable here. And we're going to take this line and we're going to draw this line all the way down to match. There we go. Now that lines up with our day count. And then here, what we're going to do on each tick mark, I'm going to put an hour. So I'm going to do 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, and 10 hours like that. And then just for a header, we'll go sleep in hours. That. So there we go. Now we got our sleep tracker right there. And then once again, here you can literally put whatever you want. You can do a number metric. Like I said, the one guy I watched, he likes to do his sleep score. The other guy I watched likes to do his weight. I still don't really have anything I'm tracking on a number basis. So what I like to do is I like to put an overall goal. So what I'll do here is I'll come here and I'll go like this. I'll go October overall goal. And then I'll write down an overall goal of October. So I don't know exactly what that is yet, but I'll figure that out by tomorrow. And that's it. At that point, our habit tracker is pretty much all built. So what I'll do is on the first day of October is I'm going to write a memorable moment here. And I do apologize. I should have left space to put a header, kind of like I did over here. But I forgot to put the header in. Same with the habits part, but it's okay. So we got our memorable moments here. We're going to put our September wins right here, or our last month wins, our different habits that we want to track, and then our sleep in hours. Now, when it comes to marking down your actual habits that you've done, I went with the scratch and X method. You can do anything. You can do circles, you can do check marks, you can do different colors, however you like to feel. I just did a little scratch if I did it, and a little X if I did not do it. And then for the sleep, obviously you're going to just do a little bullet point on each one, and then at the end of the month you're going to connect it, and you can see how atrocious your sleep actually is if you're like me. So that is pretty much it. That is how you build the habit tracker. It is super simple, very easy to do. But let me show you guys also the journaling part. So what I do is, for the next part, is I'll come over here and I'll do the month. So once I got my month here, pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 different goals that I can track, kind of like the entry into my journal. So kind of how I did with September is, before I got into my journal entries, I had 3 different goals I could look at. And now you want these goals preferably to be something you can track with a number. That way you can stay consistent with it. So once again, it's fun to fill stuff out. It does make it a lot, easier to look at, a lot more fun to actually fill things out. So, whatever your goals might be, these can be personal goals. These can be finance goals, like save $1,000. That'd be a really good one. Reach a certain amount of followers. That would be a really good one. Do something 10 times. That would be a really good one. So you're pretty much going to put those right here before your journal entries. And then you're just going to make a little bar progress tracker. And for example, when I had reached 7K subs, I had 5K, 6K, 7K. Fill that out and then check it off when I completed it. This technically is my 10th video of the month, so I can come here, I can scratch this one out, and I can check it off. You know what I'm saying? So kind of go that route. Once again, I still got to think about my October goals. And then last but not least here, I know you guys saw it in the last part, but just to reiterate, for the journal entry, I will come over here and we'll do 10:01:25. We'll do the time. Right now, I know this isn't 10:01, but it's 9:10 a.m. right now. And then I'll put whatever's on my mind. Whatever happened today, whatever bothered me, whatever was good about today, something I liked about today, whatever it might be. And then I'll put, under it what I'm grateful for, right? And then to reiterate with you guys, the memorable moments of the day, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. I have very basic stuff on here, like football started, Olipop is good. The Federal Reserve cut rates today. I finished Severance with my girlfriend. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to make yourself this person that's constantly doing new things to fill out your habit tracker. It's honestly about simplicity. It's about embracing, the simplicity of life and making every single day have a memorable moment. So that is it. That is exactly how I built this habit tracker that I've been using for the past 30 days. If you guys plan to start using one, let me know in the comments down below. I really hope you can use something like this to your advantage. It's been a huge help for me, just tracking my daily habits, seeing what I'm consistent with, seeing what I'm inconsistent with, and what I need to work on. It's also nice just getting back to the days of writing on, a pen and paper and keeping up with, my day-to-day life. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. Sorry if it was a little bit all over the place with me going over how I built this. But I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.